Something's off.
I saw her.
Now, y'all know it's a serious video when I wear my glasses because I decide I want to see, okay? We are going to get into the mess, and I don't even know if I can call it a mess because it's so much more sinister than that, but this is season 7, episode 37, CJ and Shana. So Catfish has had multiple predators on the show at this point, and this episode is no different, except the co-host is also allegedly a predator himself, participating in his father's nastiness, Justin Combs, one of Diddy's children. Ew. The irony of a predator catching another predator is not lost on me, but this episode has been highly requested, so let's get to it. So they give us an introduction and highlight Justin's participation in his father's businesses.
He's also a VP at the family business, Combs Enterprises.
Side eye. What family business do y'all know that requires over 1,000 bottles of baby oil? I'll wait. From what I can remember of this episode, Justin is a terrible co-host, so let's watch it together and see if that still rings true. So we get an email from CJ, who is 25 years old. He's a cook and he lives in Syracuse, New York. Not New York, child. We already know this is about to be a very bad mess of a mess when one of the Catfish hotspots is involved.
Okay, some of you don't know what I'm talking about.
About 8 years ago, he says that he saw a hot girl on Facebook named Shana. She was 21 years old and lived in New Jersey. Neve quickly does the math and is like, oh, so he was like 17? And Justin says, oh, so he had a nice older woman.
Wait, so 8 years ago he was like 17.
So he had a nice older one.
Yeah.
What the hell is wrong with you, sir? CJ ended up sliding into Shana's messages and they immediately became infatuated with one another.
Realizing stuff.
Shana is apparently a nurse and had a newborn daughter named Nunu. If you are 21 years old, you have a career, you have a whole ass baby, what are you doing fraternizing with a 17-year-old? Quickly. Not long after they first started talking, Shana asked him to become exclusive and he agreed. CJ says that he really loves her, but every time they tried to meet up in person, Shana always had an excuse as to why it can't happen, which is classic Catfish shit, okay? CCS. About 2 years ago, Shana apparently moved to Syracuse, and even then, she still refused to meet up with CJ.
Really?
Come on now, brother. You know good and damn well that this is CCB. Classic Catfish behavior. We just have all the acronyms so far. He clearly needs a lot of help, so they hop on a video call with CJ. He seems quite nervous, which is more than understandable. I think I would be too if I was on Catfish, especially if I was getting catfished for 8 fucking years, but
Be nice.
we move. CJ says that he felt like the big guy on campus for being in a relationship with an older woman, and Justin repeats once again,
Nice older thing, I like that.
Sir, you are weird for that. But why wouldn't I expect an alleged predator to endorse the acts of another alleged predator?
You are just an insecure weirdo.
After they were supposed to meet for the first time, Shana disappeared, but then she came back and acted like nothing happened. Again, this is some CCS. CJ then says that about a year after she disappeared once again, he got a message from one of Shana's friends named Destiny who said that Shana died.
It makes more sense if you don't think about it.
Mind you, this is someone who CJ has never heard about, Shana had never mentioned her, and he had never talked to Destiny before. And he was like, come on now. Where's that common sense you must have up in that big head of yours?
Be fucking for real.
CJ says that he was heartbroken and he began to grieve someone he never actually met. But 2 years after Shana had apparently died, CJ is scrolling through Facebook and in his People You May Know section, he finds Shana Vasquez. Which what? Aren't you supposed to be dead? Neve says, okay, hold on, run it back and make it make sense this time. CJ spammed her messages after and is like, hello, you're not dead? What the hell is going on?
It's been 2 years I talked to you and something like that. Like, where the you been? Like, what's going on?
She eventually messages him back and apologizes, and she says that she was just going through stuff. She had just gotten out of an abusive relationship and she didn't know how to handle it.
2 + 2 is 4. What the fuck is this?
So you faked your own death and got a friend to go along with the lie because you didn't know how to handle your own life? Are you serious? Also, she just seems like a big fat liar. But when Shana popped back up, CJ was in a real life relationship, which obviously ended because why would anyone stay in this weird love triangle with some random girl online that he doesn't even really know? So we then find out that CJ was actually cheating on his real life girl with Shana. And Neve is like,
Oh, man. Texting a dead girl?
Neve, Why are you so extremely unserious? So they agree to help CJ and they hop off the video call. Neve says that Shana is evil for faking her own death and then popping up to continue the relationship where they left it at. And I completely agree. Shana, what the hell are you doing, you weirdo?
Something the buttermilk ain't clean.
Our very temporary duo then heads out to meet CJ, where Neve gives our catfish the nickname Shady Shana. Neve then goes all around the house reading the notes that CJ's mom leaves, basically just instructing the house dwellers to act right.
No eating food on my furniture
At all.
at all. Woman boss of this house.
Okay, she seems like a fuck around and find out kind of lady, and I would not want to find out, so I would not fuck around. We then take a seat and get right into the mess of it all. CJ says that he believes they haven't met yet because of Shayna's baby daddy.
Be fucking for real.
No, CJ, that's not it. You haven't met yet because you were obviously being catfished.
Wake up.
I don't know how else it could be made more clear to you, sir. So after Destiny told CJ that Shana died, he went to message Shana, and then after a couple of days went by, he noticed that Shana's Facebook page was gone, but so was Destiny's.
Ooh.
You don't find that suspicious? Because the only way Shayna's profile would actually go away is if one of her family members deleted it. CJ then says that he wants to forget about Shana, but they're in love. Now, if this is what you think being in love is like, I'm gonna need you to hang it up expeditiously.
Hang it up flat screen. It's not gonna happen.
This is not at all what love should be like, and if your love is like this, run and run now. CJ then tells us that he and Shana would exchange pictures all of the time from the very beginning, and some nudes were sent as well. After hearing that, Justin grabs the phone from CJ a little too quickly for my liking. Neve eventually gets the phone and starts scrolling through the pictures, and he stares at the booty picture and then is like, hold on. What the hell is this?
Booty pic. Wait, what is this picture of a vagina?
CJ then tells us that he has also sent some freaky deaky things to Shana. Neve is like, okay, let's put on our thinking caps for a second. If someone is comfortable enough to send you intimate pictures, then they should have absolutely no problem hopping on a video call. Like, what do you mean you're gonna show me your booty hole, but you won't show me your face? And that's not weird to CJ?
What's not clicking?
And Neve then says that CJ is either being catfished or, oh my God, or
They just don't like you.
the person in the pictures just doesn't like him. Neve, why would you say it like that? I understand CJ needs a little bit of a reality check, but that seemed a little bit harsh even for my standards. CJ says that he has never given her money or really anything besides attention that would warrant her to keep coming back. So this also, it doesn't really make sense what's going on, but to be honest, when does it ever make sense what's going on Catfish? Shana is also apparently very jealous, and she will not only keep tabs on CJ's relationships, but she will go out of her way to sabotage them as well, which is even fucking crazier.
Texting the girls sometimes.
Whoa, really?
What?
They tell CJ to send them everything he's got, and then they head out. They have a car debrief, but it's not good, so I'm not even gonna talk about it.
Be nice. I'm finding it.
So they head to a very cute cafe and get into investigating. Justin says that it's not cool that Shana sabotaged CJ's relationships, but you know what else isn't cool, Justin? Allegedly participating in sex trafficking, assault, and other horrendous crimes alongside your nasty ass daddy.
Disgusting!
Allegedly.
Lawyers, please stay away from this video.
They start by reverse image searching the pictures of Shana, and they don't come back with any hits. We then head to her Facebook page and we see a lot of pictures of her and her daughter before Neve says that the profile is more convincing than a lot of the other catfish profiles that he's seen in the past. We then see a post from Shana where she says that she's trying to raise $1,500 for her daughter who is diagnosed with leg cancer.
I seriously think that something is broken here.
Girl, come on now.
You stupid.
Is giving scammer. They then go to the GoFundMe and see that she hasn't received any donations, which thank God, because right now it's looking like she created a fake fundraising page for her fake daughter with fake cancer, which is a genuinely insane thing to do and also just mad disrespectful to all of the people who are actually on GoFundMe for legitimate reasons and are trying to get actual help. Like, that shit's disrespectful. Justin then says that if all of this is fake, it is extremely sick. Oh Lord, not the alleged sicko calling another person a sicko.
What am I tapping?
Justin then has the audacity to say that he hopes that it is real. He hopes that the daughter is real and hopes that the daughter has cancer, just so he doesn't see that there's cruel people in the world.
I'm starting to hope this is real, just so I don't see that there's cruel people like this outside in the world.
An insane statement to make for a multitude of reasons. You hope a child has cancer? Crazy. But also, you and your daddy are allegedly some of the cruelest people in this world. But you want to talk about, I don't want to know that there's cruelty out there. You are the cruelty, mister.
We've traced the call. It's coming from inside the house.
We then go to Shayna's friends list and they decide to message dudes who may be talking to her romantically. As they're sending another message, they get a call from someone named Bubba. Neve quickly fills him in on everything that's been going on, and Bubba says that Shayna randomly sent him a friend request after liking some of his stuff, and I feel like that's the way that you used to flirt with people back in the day. Even now, like, you just like a couple of pictures and then slide into their DMs and you're like, hey, you look good, you know? So I understand the methodology here.
Clap if you care.
They talked flirtatiously for a couple of months, but it never went anywhere because Shayna refused to video chat or meet up. He then says that Shayna never asked him for money, but one time she insinuated that she needed it because of her daughter's medical bills. He didn't give it to her, of course, but it is definitely giving catfish scammer at this point, y'all. I cannot lie. They thank Bubba for his time and they hop off the call. We then search Shayna's phone number and it doesn't come back with any hits before they get another call from someone named Najee, who says that he used to date Shayna for about 5 months last year, but they never met in person.
Because it seemed like she was just always playing games.
So he ended things, what you should do when you realize someone's playing games. However, he then lets us know that Shayna might also be a bit of a stalker. A what now? He says that Shayna saw him at work. She called out his name, which he did in fact hear, but he never actually saw her. What the fuck is going on? Najee then says that Destiny has messaged him multiple times trying to talk about Shayna, which is very weird. He then tells us that one of his friends named Pape has also been talking to Shayna for about 8 years, but he has never met up with her either. He then agrees to send them everything he's got on Shayna, and he also sends them Pape's information so they can chat with him too. This is actually diabolical. This is insane. To catfish 2 young men for 8 years, crazy work.
Very diabolical, very insane.
Neve says that it feels like Shayna is just messing with people, and whatever is going on, something is definitely wrong with this girl for sure. We then get a message of screenshots and Pape's information as promised. One thing I just want to point out is right now, it seems like Shayna is exclusively catfishing young black men, which is very weird to me.
I know something you don't.
They send Pape a message, and as we go through the screenshots, we see that Destiny was putting pressure on Najee to financially take care of Shayna and Nunu.
The hell you mean, man?
Your daughter's name is not really Nunu. But to put pressure on a younger person to take care of you and your friend, and why is your friend putting pressure on someone to take care of you? Can you not take care of yourself and your child? I can't stand this girl. But we then find Destiny's Facebook page, and Neve quickly clocks that this page feels eerily similar to Shayna's page. And it does. It has the same kind of vibe. It has pictures, but something about it just feels off. We then get a call from Pape, and he does not at all hesitate to say that Shayna is a true catfish.
Oh, she's a true catfish. A true catfish. It's a fish.
He says that Shayna actually gave him an address to meet up at, and he drove about 40 miles. I'm Canadian, so I don't actually know how far this is, but it sounds far by the way that he's saying it and the reaction that Neve and Justin have. So I assume that that's far. Shayna then says that she sees him. She tells him exactly what he's wearing, what type of car he's in, and she's right, which is creepy, but he can't see her and she won't just go up to him.
What happened to hello? How are you?
At this point, I'm gonna keep it so real with you. It's so clear that Pape was just waiting for someone to talk about this craziness with, because he's telling us everything and then some. They're not even asking questions at this point. He's just divulging information. He then tells us that Destiny is also a catfish. He says that he was trying to sleep with both Shayna and Destiny, so that's how he knows, and Justin laughs a little bit too hard at this comment, in my opinion.
Because I was trying to both of them. They both catfish.
Bowie move. They thank Pape for talking to them and they hop off the call. We then head back to CJ's to tell him the findings of their investigation, all of the messy mess that we had just talked about. But for whatever reason, I don't know why he did this, Neve decides to lull CJ into a false sense of security and positivity about the reverse image search and Shayna's Facebook page before getting into the real information that we found out. CJ is just devastated to find out that Shayna has been talking to other people intimately over the years in the exact same way that she's been talking to him, which is understandable. We then get to Pape's story and CJ is truly devastated. However, Justin then says something I think is very telling. He says that it's creepy when someone is watching you and you don't know they're watching you.
That's creepy, someone just watching you, you don't know they're watching you.
This is a very bold statement to make when that is exactly what he and his father are accused of doing. They also take it one step further and they are accused of using this footage to later blackmail parties involved in the nastiness, allegedly.
Really extra not cool.
CJ is just heartbroken because in his mind, Shana really liked him, she was loyal to him, and they were in love, but that's obviously not the case. He then says that this is his breaking point, and for whatever reason, I cannot figure out for the life of me why Nev decides to just twist the knife in further in moments like this. Nev says that he knew that Shana was lying about some things, but he thought the feelings were real, but now that's not even the case. Sometimes Nev and besties, this is a lesson I had to learn too. We do not always need to say everything that comes to our mind. That was not necessary to say to that boy in that moment when he's clearly devastated. Like, oh yeah, I thought she at least liked you, but she didn't even like you.
Does she even like you at all?
Why would you say that? Why would you say that? But Nev then says that he wants Destiny and Shana to stop. He wants to know why they keep messing with CJ and every other guy in Syracuse. Nev then does what Nev does, and he gives Shana a call to confront her, basically to push her into meeting up, but she sends them right to voicemail, which is not surprising. So Nev leaves a voicemail, which he usually doesn't do. And he basically just says, Shana girl, we're here with CJ, let's meet up, stop dodging me. They say that they'll give CJ an update in the morning, and as the crew is packing up and getting ready to leave, Shana sends CJ a message.
But guess what happened?
She's cussing him out, she's going off, and she basically says, I can't believe you've done this.
Shana just texted you and said, I can't believe you're doing this. This is BS. I'm blocking you.
Girl, you're mad at him?
What?
The people who should be mad right now are CJ and all of Justin and Diddy's alleged victims. That's who should be mad right now.
Allegedly.
Nev tells him not to text her back and just give her some time to figure it out, which to me is a good call because I think that this was just kind of her manipulation to try to get CJ to back off. That's what Nev says, and he's actually good this time when he says that, so the crew then actually heads out this time. So the next morning, CJ tells us that he hasn't heard from Shana, so they then decide that they're just gonna try and pop up on her because Pape gave us the address that Shana gave him months ago, so they're assuming she lives around there. It might even be her house, so they're just ready to go. When we get back to CJ's, he tells us that a couple minutes before the crew arrived, Shana actually hit him up. She said that she just met Nev.
What the fuck?
And she can't believe that CJ did this. And then this crazy... Why did I say that? This crazy lady sends us a picture of Nev and Justin in their hotel lobby literally right before they left, okay? And Nev is like, what? So now this crazy lady is stalking Nev. Y'all, this is too much. This is simply too much. Nev jumps up and he's like, oh my gosh.
I saw her. I saw her. It's a picture of us.
I remember seeing a woman in the lobby and he glanced at her, but he didn't say anything because the lady was creepily obviously taking pictures of them. Him not saying anything, in my opinion, was a smart move on his part, but he did say that he noticed her. But also, just like a little sidebar from the sidebar, the fact that he saw the catfish, he didn't immediately clock her as Shana, to me at least, lets us know that she is likely not the person in the pictures, but right now that's truly the least of our concerns. Nev then talks to the crew and is like, hey, you filmed us walking out. I'm trying to see if we were able to get crazy stalking predator lady on camera. We then take a peek at the footage from the lobby and we can't see her because she's just outside of the frame, which is so annoying. But Nev is especially freaked out because in the millions of years that they've been doing Catfish, basically half my life, this has never happened before. CJ then lets us know that he texted Shana saying that,
so you met Nev, now can I meet you? I'm so eager to meet you, please.
Which honestly, 10 out of 10 confrontation line, I really like it. Shana then calls and CJ puts it on speaker. She immediately just asks if Nev is with him, which to me is so crazy. Like, that's really what you're concerned about in this moment? Really? But also to me, it's very telling because I think she asked this because she was trying to see how much she would be able to manipulate CJ if Nev and the crew wasn't there. So Nev then takes the phone.
Hey, Shana.
Hi.
I can't believe you were sitting there. I looked right at you.
And tries to convince Shana to meet up. He really sweet talks her into it, lulls her into this false sense of security, which I think was smart because I don't think she would have showed up if he was being like crass with her. because she seems to run away from all her problems. But Shana says that they can't come to her house. We didn't ask to come to your house, but they can meet her at a park in about an hour. So they agree, they hop off the call, and they head out. On the way there, CJ says that if Shana is not the girl in the pictures, but she's still pretty, he'll let it slide and try to work on things with her.
Don't piss me off, for real.
After everything we just found out about this girl, that should be the absolute last thing he wants to do. He should want to run the other way and never talk to her or think about her ever again. As they're driving in, Neve gets a text from Shana and she says that she sees them and she tells them exactly where to go to meet her, which to me is crazy work. We then see who we think is Shana get up and start walking towards them, and Justin says,
"This is a long walk of truth."
That's what your daddy says every time he's got to walk down a hallway in that jail he's being kept in. Allegedly. All allegedly. We then see Shana, and Lord have mercy, this is truly shocking.
Of course, you know CJ.
But the show also did her very dirty by playing this sound as she walked up, because why would you do that?
Shame.
This lady looks old enough to be Neve's, CJ's, and Justin's mom. Like, how old are you? I am so disgusted, and she hasn't even opened her mouth yet.
Editing Jada here to clarify that I'm disgusted because she is clearly way older than CJ, which to me makes it clear that she was way over the age of 18 when she began talking to a minor. That's why I'm disgusted.
She is clearly far too old to be doing this to teenage boys for damn near a decade. We find out that her name is actually Rebecca, and she says that Shana is a general person of who she really is. I call bullshit, and Neve does too.
I think Shana, as a general person, that's really who I am.
So he's like, maybe the personality, like, girl, be fucking for real, please, and thank you right now. Rebecca then says that she has always lived in Syracuse, but she would lie about where she lived to get away from the situation because she felt bad. Now, girl, you know that that doesn't even make sense because originally you said you lived in Jersey and then you told him you lived in Syracuse. So you were moving yourself closer to him, not further away from him.
She's got a point.
Rebecca then evades questions and she tries to give us a sob story, which honestly, I don't give a fuck about at this point.
That's how I feel about it.
However, because I'm recapping, I'll tell you all the BS she says anyways, so you have to suffer with me. She claims that she made this Shana page because she was originally trying to catch her man cheating, and then she says that that's how she ended up talking to CJ.
That's how I ended up talking to CJ.
Girl, what? Again, that doesn't even make a lick of sense. You were trying to catch your man cheating, so you ended up talking to a minor? What? That's like me saying, oh yeah, I got a package in the mail, so then I ended up back at the mall. And I can't even say that because that makes more sense than what the fuck she said.
Bloop, bloop, bloop.
Rebecca then admits that she stole the pictures from a girl who was friends with her son on Facebook. Oh, so you have a son. I'm curious as to how old this son is. Like, obviously, in my mind at least, he has to be close to CJ's age if she was using one of his friend's pictures to catfish CJ, right? But also, this just makes me think about the sharing of nudes. Like, girl, whose nudes were you sharing? And also, you were out here soliciting CP. You're sick. You're disgusting.
Electric chair.
She then, oh Lord, she then says that she has 5 kids. Girl, what? But also, Neve's reaction is hilarious. He is again just being the most unserious that he possibly could at this moment.
How many kids do you have?
5.
Wow.
That was so unnecessary, that wow, but we move. We then find out that Rebecca actually lied about one of her 5 kids being sick, which is not shocking at this point, but this sets Neve up to go in for the kill, okay? He sees red, he sees blood, he's going in. He goes, okay, so then explain the GoFundMe page.
You set up a GoFundMe page for a daughter with fake cancer. That's seriously sick.
She then says that she was just trying to cover the lie that she told CJ. CJ never mentioned that her daughter was sick, so I don't know what that was all about. But also now I'm just thinking about it. You had a kid and you were expecting this 17-year-old to play daddy to your child in the hypothetical mess of the situation?
Girl, don't play.
Oh my God. And I was about to say, what about the lies that she told all of the other boys that she catfished? But they haven't told her that we know about all of them yet, so I'm assuming they're gonna get to it real soon. Rebecca then admits that she was Destiny, which is not shocking. Anybody with a brain cell, not even 2, with 1 brain cell could have figured that out. But CJ is like, okay, why the hell did you tell me you died? Like, That in the grand scheme of things, that makes the least sense in all of this. But Rebecca then spits out some more bullshit and shenanigans and said that she just wanted to be done with everything.
Selfish piece of crap.
If that's true, then why the hell did you come back? It didn't end when you killed yourself off. You have 5 kids, and yet you have time to be playing sick games like this with other children. What the hell is wrong with you?
That shit got me so hot!
Neve then clocks her once again and is like,
but then you started talking to other people as Destiny. And obviously continued talking as Shana too.
And we know that that's true because we talked to the other people who you were doing this exact same thing to. So you weren't trying to be done with it. You kept it going. Neve then says if she had only done it to one person, then maybe she could say that she felt bad. But she's been doing it to countless people, which makes everything that she said look and sound ridiculous. He doesn't say that last part, but I'm saying it, and I'm saying it with my whole chest. You are ridiculous. You are a big fool, Miss Girl.
This is too much for my delicate nature.
Rebecca then says that she was in fact talking to the other people, which we already know that. So if you tried to lie right now, you'd look even more stupid than you already do, which is saying a lot because you look pretty freaking stupid right now. But she says that she was doing that just to keep the image going, but she never took the conversation seriously. Yet another thing coming out of her mouth that makes literally no sense. She's here being predatory. She's being manipulative by trying to make CJ feel like he's special, like he's the one. Like, yeah, she was being creepy to all those other people, but she was being creepy to him because she wants him. She didn't want those other people. Even if that's true, that's disgusting.
Y'all make me sick.
Neve is like, okay, you might not have taken it seriously, but they sure as hell did. And he's not keeping his foot off her neck for 1 second. And I appreciate that because I feel like in other situations where there has been clear predatory actions, they don't really address it. I just want to know if we are going to address the elephant in the room or not. That this lady with 5 kids is a predator who solicited CP and her primary targets were young Black men. Minors at that. We're just not going to address that part. To me, it's sick for her to be doing all of this, but the power dynamic cannot be ignored. Too often, young Black girls and boys are categorized as being too fast, as being overtly sexual, and are sexualized by others far too young. So in this situation, in my mind at least, that's one of the reasons that CJ was so excited to be with an older woman. And it's also one of the reasons why I think Rebecca is justifying her actions and she thinks it's okay and she doesn't see anything wrong with what she's doing. It's because, in part, because of that type of socialization. Rebecca then says that she cares for CJ and she began to have feelings for him.
Boo, you whore.
He was a minor. He was a minor. You went out of your way to prey on a minor. Your feelings don't matter. Rebecca, you're sick and disgusting. Neve then finally clocks in all the way. She pissed him off now, okay? He said
he was 17 and you're not in your 20s. No offense.
Nah, bitch, full fucking offense. You look every second of your age.
Ow.
Rebecca is 38 now, so this means that she was 30 when she first met CJ. The look on CJ's face to me at this time is devastating because you can tell he's trying to process everything. He is trying to process the fact that this relationship he thought he was in was really just him being preyed upon. Rebecca then says that she didn't even really think about it.
I didn't really think about it.
Good thing she don't get paid for thinking.
I don't even have words for how fucked up that is. You have kids, you have 5 kids to be exact, but you didn't think about how preying on a minor,
You stupid.
how that was not okay.
They're going to prison.
Some people just shouldn't have kids, and to me, Rebecca is one of those people. And Neve is like, but you knew he was 17 whether you thought about it or not. That is messed up. It's clear that Neve is pissed and he's trying to contain himself. He says that it's one thing to mess with people your own age, but it's another thing to mess with a kid for 8 years of his young adult life. That is fucked, Rebecca. You are fucked. CJ says that he's hurt, and Rebecca doesn't address anything Neve said. She just turns to CJ and says that she wasn't trying to hurt him.
I wasn't trying to hurt you.
Girl, we do not care.
Clap if you care.
Disrespectfully, we do not care. Neve then clocks back in, and he is truly working overtime in this episode because Justin hasn't said shit since we started to address this predator, which in my opinion is very telling. Because how would he feel calling out a predator when he was allegedly doing even worse things? But Neve then brings up the fact that Rebecca was messing with CJ's in real life relationships with his in real life girlfriends.
That's not true. He had girlfriends that you with.
And Rebecca says that she never did that. Okay, you're obviously lying. But then she quickly switches and says she doesn't remember that. Again, another lie. CJ just walks away because he's clearly so overwhelmed, he's so upset, and he's so hurt. Rebecca then walks over to a picnic table and she starts to cry, and she attempts to make herself seem like the victim, which is genuinely pissing me off. Like, y'all, if you can't already tell, I'm about to lose my mind if I haven't already lost it. If there's a couple things I can't stand that are on this show all the time, it's cheaters and predators. What is wrong with y'all? But Rebecca then says that CJ is just so a part of her life, and he's been there for her good moments and her bad moments, and he was just always there.
Not today, Nick.
And then she kind of exposes herself, and she says that
I was just always worried that he was just gonna not be there anymore.
And he would hate her. You literally preyed upon him, and you're worried that one day he'll leave you? You're worried that your manipulation and the predatory behavior didn't actually work? That's what you're saying right now. Are you serious?
It's hurtful to me to watch her be so dumb.
He should absolutely hate your ass for what you did to him and for all the ways you messed with his life, his in-person relationships, but more so for the way that you completely ruined 8 years of his life and wasted 8 years of his life. There are so many things that he should have been doing with that time, and instead, he was investing it in you.
Trash.
But somehow you're the victim? You make me sick. Rebecca then says that she feels horrible, and without a shred of empathy, a shred of compassion, Neve clocks back into work. And he's like, really? Do you?
I feel horrible.
Do you? Because I'm hearing you express feelings for yourself.
You are making this all about you when you need to be thinking about CJ, not just yourself. He tells her to dig deeper in that cold, empty pit that she calls a heart. He doesn't say that, I'm saying that. But he tells her that they'll meet up later, so the crew then heads out. Honestly, up until this point, I can truly say Neve did what needed to be done. He's showing no remorse for her, and he was completely unmoved by her excuses, her tears, and her sob story. I feel like in the episodes that I have covered so far with predatory behavior, this is the closest that Neve has really gotten to full on calling them what they are, right? You're a predator, you're disgusting, this is not okay. In the car ride, Neve is still on 10. He makes it clear that CJ is the victim, Rebecca played him, and she manipulated him for 8 years in order to keep him around.
8 years. She really played you. She knew exactly how to manipulate you.
He then says that Rebecca, at the bare minimum, owes CJ an apology, so they arrive at a restaurant of sorts and tell Rebecca to pull up on them. CJ then says that they can work something out to be friends, but he doesn't want anything romantic to happen between them.
Thank God.
Neve then says, of course, that's not what you want. Of course you don't want to be in a relationship with her.
Of course you don't want to be in a relationship with her.
And Neve says that it's crazy that CJ would even have to say that, right? Because any regular person, which obviously Rebecca is not a regular or a good person, because there's no way that you would prey on someone for 8 years and then they would have to explicitly tell you that they don't want anything to do with you.
Is you stupid? Is you dumb? Pick a side.
Like, she's really delusional about what's going on, and she doesn't believe that she did anything wrong, which to me is almost the craziest part of all of this. Justin then says that Rebecca is going to try and make CJ feel bad for not dating her, and honestly, after everything he, his father, and his brother are accused of doing, I do not want to hear him say anything else about predators. I don't, and being manipulative. I don't want to hear it from you.
Shut up, dude.
They then just continue to affirm CJ in his feelings and his ultimate decision, but then CJ says that he doesn't want to leave Rebecca.
We could work out something to be friends, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to just leave her.
To me, this is evidence that Rebecca's grooming and that her manipulative and predatory behavior worked. She literally just told us that that was a fear that she had. So in my mind, she kind of instilled in CJ to not want to leave her despite everything horrible she has done to him and countless others. So I am not going to shame CJ for this because I can understand why and how he can even say that they should still be friends at this point. Neve is still clocked in fully and says that CJ is being too nice because he's scared to say that.
It's like you almost feel uncomfortable just saying, she's crazy, I don't want to have anything to do with her.
And reminds him that Rebecca knew how to manipulate him. Neve then says that CJ needs to make it expeditiously clear that he wants absolutely nothing to do with Rebecca in any physical or romantic kind of way, because at this point, I think Rebecca is fully caught up in that delusion that he wants her, that he wants to be with her. But to me, it's crazy because in this moment, it's almost as if they're teaching CJ for the very first time that no really does mean no. This hold that Rebecca has had on you for 8 years, it doesn't have to be there if you don't want it to be there. And it seems empowering to him. Rebecca then walks in and CJ can't even look at her. She then, I'm so sick of her. I'm so sick of her. She then says that she overstepped the line and the boundaries before saying that she's gonna cry. I'm gonna cry. I almost threw up in my mouth. At this point, cut the cameras, okay? Cut the cameras and send her on her way and then jump her when she's not expecting it, because why are you again making it about you? I overstepped the line, I overstepped the boundaries. You did that when you first started talking to someone who you knew was 17 and you were 30. That's when you overstepped the line, you overstepped the boundaries. That's called being a predator. You didn't just overstep the line. I don't even have words right now at this point. This is not how you apologize to someone, but then again, I'm not really expecting her to genuinely apologize, because why would she do that when she doesn't feel like she's done anything wrong? She then says that
I didn't really think about what I was doing.
She didn't think about what she was doing, which is a lie. And she says that CJ has been there for her for 8 years and she doesn't want him to not be there anymore. And then she says that she's sorry.
I just don't want you to not be there anymore. And I'm sorry.
You aren't sorry. You threw that in there at the end as another manipulation tactic because you saw that he wasn't moved by anything else you said. CJ then addresses her without looking at her for the most part, and I feel like this is because, again, he's trying to process everything that has gone on, but also I think he's really disgusted with her. He says that he accepts her apology. He then says that he loves her, which makes Rebecca smile.
I do love you a lot and stuff.
You sick bitch. And he then says that they should just be friends, and just like that, her smile's gone.
Just friends.
As it should be. You shouldn't be smiling at all.
You don't deserve to be outside enjoying the sun.
What?
You should be in a cave.
Neve then makes it explicitly clear what CJ wants, so there is no doubt in anyone's mind, and I really appreciate him for doing this because it seems like, she's not taking CJ's words seriously, which is really annoying. Rebecca says that she isn't going to make a new profile, and Neve is like, girl, are you sure? Because we know you're very manipulative. CJ then says that his guards are up, which breaks my heart. Rebecca says that the romance, the lies, and the stalking are over. Honestly, categorizing this as romance when you're just a predator is crazy. But to be honest with you, I'll never believe anything this woman says, so we'll see if she really means any of this. We then jump to a follow-up with CJ about 2 months later, and he looks really happy. But then he tells us that he and Rebecca talked for a week as friends, but he's over it, the whole situation, because he got the closure that he needed, and thank God for that. There's no reason they should have been in contact at all. He says that he is now dating his friend who he dated before, but they're starting over, which I think it's nice that the girl gave him a second chance. I don't know if I would, because I'm assuming that they dated and then Rebecca came in and messed everything up. So now explaining like, yeah, I was a victim in all of this. She decided to give him another chance. They're starting over. He thanks them for their help and hops off the call. And shockingly, not really shockingly, I'm being sarcastic, producers were unable to reach Rebecca for a follow-up despite making multiple attempts. I wonder why. I wonder the fuck why. I think that this was the best that Neve or any of the hosts have ever handled an encounter with a predatory catfish. He did everything just short of calling her a predator. Now, in hindsight, looking back on Justin's behavior in this episode, it makes a little bit more sense if he actually did the things that he's being accused of. If he was being predatory his damn self, then obviously he's not gonna have a lot to say to Shana because he knows he's doing worse. I wonder how Shana's kids react. I keep calling her Shana. Rebecca. I wonder how Rebecca's kids reacted to this episode airing, to finding out that she was doing this and that she was potentially having a relationship with someone who is the same age or younger than they are. It's crazy to me. Neve ate her up and she deserved every second of it. But make sure to let me know your thoughts, your feelings, and your opinions down in the comments below. How do you feel about the way that Neve handled this? How do you feel about the entire situation? To me, I think in my opinion, one of the most messed up parts is the fact that Rebecca still didn't seem to understand that she did anything wrong, that she was inherently being very predatory, very emotionally manipulative to somebody who wasn't fully developed emotionally, physically, or even mentally. So she had a real chokehold on him in a way that was just not okay.
I said what I said.
But Make sure to like, make sure to comment, make sure to subscribe and hit that bell notification so you're aware of every single time that I upload. If there's another episode you'd like to see me cover or another show you'd like to see me cover, you can drop it down in the comments below. I'm always in the comments looking for recommendations, or you could send me a DM right here on Instagram, okay? A couple of videos ago, I mentioned how I wanted to get back posting on Instagram, and I feel like I'm gonna try to start doing it around my birthday. I don't know, I'm gonna try, okay? Also, I am trying to hit 100K before my birthday, which is in November. So if you're not subscribed, do it, and do it now. Help make my dreams come true. If you made it all the way to the end of the video, comment any kind of red emoji to show what a walking red flag Rebecca and Justin allegedly are, okay? Thank you for being here, besties. I appreciate you so deeply, and I'll see you in the next video.